Hello, I'd like to welcome you. My name is Alastair MacWillson. I'm the chairman of two companies, Cafaro, who have launched the EPQ, and also the Chartered Institute of Information Security. On behalf of both organisations and the security industry, I'd like to thank you personally for choosing the Cafaro Cybersecurity EPQ as a qualification to take you onto a career. The first step to joining something so important, such a critically important industry, and becoming part of the profession is getting foundational qualifications. Why is this important? Well, it probably hasn't escaped you that the rise of the internet, the ever-increasing connectivity, it is such, and things like social media are creating an environment where cybersecurity is actually the fastest growing technology challenge in our future. So that point is reflected in the fact that cybersecurity has been with us, or the need for cybersecurity, for some while. But in 2004, for example, the market or the demand for cybersecurity was around $3.5 billion. Whereas now it's predicted that in 2022, the spend will be worth in excess of $170 billion. And that's what companies and governments are spending on the cybersecurity problem, if you like. And you've probably seen lots of headlines about attacks to government, to organisations like banks, retail, telephony companies, entertainment, and various other, almost every other industry is affected by the threat of being attacked from a cyber perspective. And it's not just attacking them to upset their business, it's also to commit fraud, abuse, and many other illegal activities. And so we don't know what's to come in the future. Some cyber attacks are pretty complex and require code and expertise. But many exploits are now conducted with some ease and at low cost. So it's very easy to attack. It's much harder to defend an organisation. The problem, as you might imagine, is pretty diverse. It's also very large and complicated in many cases. So the result is that industry has been growing its cyber experienced team to combat the risk. And the fact is that companies need ever more people because of the growing threat and the growing problem. And so the future opportunity for you getting foundational qualifications is that the cyber defense speciality is becoming more and more important across business and across all activities. So the result of that is there's more jobs available than there are people to fill those vacancies. And the shortfall is only going to get worse. The current position this year, for example, is that the shortfall of cybersecurity professionals is expected to hit 3.5 million cyber professionals on a global basis. And many of those are obviously in the US, but equally we have dramatic shortages in the UK. The upshot of this is good for people looking for a new career. It opens up new paths for new opportunities for people to go into in the technology space. And one thing that the shortage of skilled resources has created is that salaries are pretty good in the sector, with the average pay in the UK now for a cybersecurity professional hitting 72,000 a year. So why wouldn't you, if you wanted a technology-based career, why wouldn't you think about cyber? It is a complex subject, and you may not have really fully appreciated the complexity, but it's currently thought of in about 8 specific disciplines. For example, information security governance and management is a career in its own right, as is risk assessment and management. Security development and application development, for example, are critical to having safe and secure organizations. And then there's testing, there's security operations and management, there's intrusion detection, there's audit and compliance to make sure people are doing their jobs correctly. And finally, there's incident management and forensics to sort out problems after they occur. So the CyberEPQ that you're embarking on doesn't give you any of those specialities in detail, but what it does give you is, as a starter, a very broad understanding about what is in the cyber discipline and what cyber security is all about. So it gives you that broad knowledge. And it hopefully gets you started on an important journey where you can think about looking after the safety and security of companies, people, and the country overall. So in closing, I hope you will enjoy this course. It's new and quite exciting, even for experienced security practitioners. So I look forward to, together with my colleagues, of welcoming you to the EPQ and ultimately as a key member of the industry for the future. So thank you very much.